Alamin wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulihil kareem amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters, once again. Inshallah, we're just going to carry on from where we left off, and that was the accusation or the allegation which Shias put against Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that Fatima radiyallahu anha, she brought some witnesses to Abu Bakr, and Abu Bakr refused to give the orchard of Fadak back to her, not trusting the witnesses and therefore not giving the orchard back to her. So in the last video we have dealt with the actual text of the narrations. Now I want to actually just go a bit further into the narrations, and let's look at the chains of narration. These reports which say that Fatima radiallahu anha, she brought some witnesses to the Prophet, to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, if you gather them all together, you'll roughly find about 6 or 7 different books. Altogether, I think there's 8 or 9 narrations which say that she brought witnesses. I just want to go through each narration, tell you where this narration is found, and why this narration is not good enough and why it's not accepted. The first narration which talks about the witnesses is mentioned in a book called Ansab al-Ashraf, very famous book which the Shias time and again use against our Sunnis, and the reason is because there's so much that's found in there that's basically hatred for the companions radiyallahu anhum ajmain. So anyway, like I said, okay, the first narration can be found in Ansab al-Ashraf, and this is a weak narration. Why is it weak? Because of a narrator by the name of Sa'id ibn Khalid. Sa'id ibn Khalid has been weakened by Imam Bukhari, Abu Zur'a, Abu Hatim, Ibn Hibban, and Daraqutni, and this can all be found in Ibn Hajar's Tahzib al-Tahzib. The second narration, which talks about Fatima bringing the witnesses, is found in a book called As-Saqifa wal-Fadak. This is also weak due to a narrator by the name of Hisham al-Kalbi and his father. Both were accused of fabricating narrations, and this can be found in Mizanul I'tidal. The third narration is found in a book called Futuh al-Buldan, and I just want to mention quickly is none of these are books of hadith. None of these are books of hadith. Some are dictionaries and some are books of history, written by people who are not even, we don't even really know who they were. So you can see what type of stuff and what type of information she has actually used against us. It's a bit of a joke, but for the sake of it, we're just having to go through each narration and telling you why each narration is not accepted. So the third one is from a book called Futuh al-Buldan. Once again, this is also a weak narration because due to a disconnection in the chain, and also there is an unknown narrator. Now when there's an unknown narrator, we don't even know who the person is narrating it. How can we accept it? The fourth narration again is from the same book, Futuh al-Buldan. There's actually 3 problems. There's 2 unknown narrators in the chain, and there's also a disconnection in the chain of narration. So once again, we can't accept. The fifth one, this is even worse. It's from Tafsir Razi. Tafsir Razi, now that's a tafsir book. In there, there's a narration, and the worst thing about it is it's not even got a chain of narration. There's no chain of narration. So, what can you say about that? Again, Mu'jamul Buldan, no chain of narration. That's the 6th narration. The 7th narration is found in Riyad al-Nadhira. Once again, no chain of narration. And the 8th narration is found in Tarikh al-Madina. Number 1, it's got a disconnection, and there's somebody in the chain called Numayri bin Hassan, who is also an unknown narrator. These were 8 reports which talk about Fatima radiallahu anha bringing witnesses to Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. I have been through all 8 reports and proven to you from the different books that they are in that not a single one of them is good enough to be presented as an evidence against a companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now I just want to move on. So like I said in the previous video, we talked about the text. Now we've talked about the chain. After this, now I just want to mention 3 more different points to you, which will inshallah clear the air for anybody who is seeking the truth. See, that's the key point. The key point is seeking the truth. If you are after the truth, then inshallah all these points that I have made, they will be sufficient to you, and inshallah you will not blame Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu for anything that he did not do. If you look at the 8 narrations, all the 8 narrations have got such a contradiction that is unbelievable. Some of the narrations say that the person Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha bought was Ayman and Ali ibn Abi Talib, her husband, and Ayman. Some other narrations say that it wasn't Ali ibn Abi Talib, it was Ayman and it was Rabi'ah. And the third narrations, some other narrations say that it was Ayman and Asma bint Umais radiallahu ta'ala anha. So you can clearly see that there's a massive contradiction to who the witnesses were. Some say it was Ali and Ayman, some say it was Ayman and Rabi'ah, some say it was Ayman and Asma bint Umais. Now somebody might say, okay, no, it's possible that the narrators have dropped one or two individuals. Rather, it was all of them. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, each one of these people, if they were a witness, they are so significant and they are so crucial that anybody in the right mind would not drop a witness. You would never ever drop a witness. A witness is something that is so crucial and so significant. You know, if it was something insignificant, then you could say that, okay, in one narration, one witness has been dropped, and in another narration, another witness was dropped. And rather, what had happened, they had all come. No, that's not the case. Why is because each and every single person is so significant and so crucial that anybody in the right mind who was telling the story and who's making up the narrations would have never ever dropped a single witness. That's how crucial they are. So, that excuse, or, somebody might have dropped them and not mentioned them, absolutely wrong. And inshallah, later on, I'm going to explain to you why each and every single one of them are so crucial, and why the person who's narrating them, he would not have dropped and not mentioned them. The second point I want to mention is this is a general Islamic rule. Shias also agree with this, and Sunnis also agree with this rule. Okay, if there are two people arguing over one thing, one person says it belongs to me, another person says it belongs to me. The person who is reconciling or who is going to sort the issue out, he needs to look, if it's a judge, he needs to look at whose possession the thing was in. Whoever's possession the thing was in, the onus of bringing witnesses is upon the other person. You've got person A, you've got person B. If the thing is in person B's possession, then the onus of bringing a witness is upon person A, because he didn't have it in his possession, he's just taken it from him. This saying that Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha brought the witnesses is totally 100% going against the actual claim of Shia, which was Abu Bakr took it of her. What do the Shia say? Shia say Abu Bakr usurped this land from Fatima. He took this land from Fatima. If Abu Bakr took the land from Fatima, why is Fatima bringing the witnesses? The onus of bringing a witness is upon Abu Bakr. Now Fatima, according to radiallahu ta'ala anha, according to the Shias, she had ilmul ghaib. She knew everything. And even according to us, she was a very great scholar. She was a big scholar. She was the daughter of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How is it that she did not know such a simple principle in Islam, that I don't need to bring, the onus of bringing a witness is not upon me? She would have most definitely said to Abu Bakr, Abu Bakr, you took it of me, why are you asking me for the witnesses? Why are you asking me for the witnesses? So, see, there's a massive contradiction. The contradiction is that if she had the land, then she would have never brought the witnesses. But if you're saying that she brought the witnesses, then that just clearly shows she didn't have the land. Very, very, very simple logic. Okay, the third point I want to go into, let's just imagine, for argument's sake, that Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha, she just thought to herself, okay, fine, I'll bring the witnesses. Even though it's not my job, I'll bring the witnesses. Quran has set a benchmark for witnesses. Quran has given us a principle that when you bring witnesses, then what do you have to do? In Surah Baqarah, verse 282, halfway through the verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاسْتَشْهِدُوا شَهِيدَيْنِ مِنْ رِجَالِكُمْ فَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُونَا رَجُلَيْنِ فَرَجُلٌ وَمَرَأَتَانِ. That when you bring witnesses, you have to bring either two men, and if you don't have two men, then you bring one man, two women. If you look at what Fatima brought, in some narrations it says Ali radiallahu anhu and Ayman. So that narration does not fulfill the demands of the Quran, because that's one male, one female. If you look at the other narrations, some say Ayman and Rabi'a, that's two females, one male missing. And if you look at the other one, that also mentions two females. So even if you say that yes, she brought the witnesses were not in harmony with the demands of the Quran, because the Quran says if you are going to bring witnesses, either two men or one man, one woman, which Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha did not have, unfortunately. Now some Shia, when we say this to the Shia, they don't have anything to say. So what do they say? Turn around and they make an excuse. They say, no, Fatima was infallible. Fatima was infallible. She was the daughter of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was Abu Bakr's job to trust her. My first answer to this is that number one, when it comes to the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially this law, then everybody is equal. There are stories that I can present to you from the books of Shia where Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, where he was asked to bring witnesses, and because he didn't bring the correct witnesses, Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he was pushed back, and his claims, they were not accepted because he did not bring the correct and what the Quran asked for. So number one, Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha, if she has not brought the correct amount of witnesses, then everybody is equal. We are not allowed to, or Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu was not allowed to give that land to Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha. And second thing, even if he did do what the Shia say, still he would not have saved himself from Shia, because you would be the first people to jump on him and say, look, he's gone against the Quran. So when he didn't, you haven't let him off. And if he did, then you still wouldn't let him off. You would still use that against Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu and say, look, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu went against the Quran, therefore he is not deserving of becoming the Khalifa. And I'll tell you why this is. This is because fulfilling the rights of Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha is not the objective of Shia. Their objective is to make Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu a target. Fatima is just being used as an excuse. Don't fool yourselves. You are not protecting the rights of Fatima, you are targeting Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this understanding. See, brothers and sisters, it's very, very easy to listen and sit down in front of mullahs who have hatred in their hearts for Sahaba radiallahu anhum and listen to their objections against the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. But it is not every single individual's job to go into such scrutiny and to go into such an investigation about how true is what this person is saying on the mimbar. It is our job that whatever the people on the mimbar say, especially these Shia scholars, that we go into a scrutiny and we look at what is actually what is the truth behind what this man is saying. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to look at this with an open and a fair mind, searching for truth. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.